On a sunny afternoon at a Virginia high school graduation, Jamal Harris, a black Marine veteran who'd served 2 tours overseas, was singled out by security guards and ordered to leave his nephew's ceremony for no valid reason. Moments later, 6 Navy SEALs, fellow veterans who'd served alongside Jamal, stepped in with display of loyalty and authority that silenced the guards and left the crowd in awe. What happened in those tense seconds would become a powerful story of brotherhood, respect, and standing up against injustice. Jamal Harris was 38 years old in June 2023 when he arrived at Lincoln High School in Norfolk, Virginia, to attend his nephew Marcus's graduation. Jamal had grown up in a tough neighborhood in Portsmouth, joined the Marines at 18, and served honorably for 12 years, including deployments in Afghanistan and Iraq. After leaving the service, he settled in Virginia Beach, working as a logistics coordinator for a defense contractor. His military bearing, broad shoulders, close-cropped hair, and a disciplined demeanor remained evident, though he carried himself with the quiet humility of a man who'd seen combat and valued peace. Marcus, his 18-year-old nephew, was the son of Jamal's older sister, Tanya, a single mother who worked as a nurse. Marcus had excelled at Lincoln High, earning a scholarship to Virginia Tech, and Jamal was proud to be there to celebrate. He'd driven from his home that morning, dressed in a navy blazer, khakis, and a tie, carrying a small gift from Marcus, a leather-bound journal inscribed with "Stay Strong." The ceremony was held outdoors on the school's football field, with bleachers packed with families and a stage set up for the graduates. Jamal arrived early, finding a seat near the front with Tanya and her younger son, 12-year-old Malik. The crowd was lively, with parents snapping photos and graduates in caps and gowns waving to friends. Security was tight, as the school had faced minor disruptions at past events. A private security firm, Coastal Safety Solutions, had been hired, with 6 guards patrolling the perimeter and checking tickets at the entrance. Jamal handed over his ticket, printed from an email confirmation, and took his seat without issue. As the ceremony began, Jamal noticed 2 guards, a man named Greg and a woman named Linda, lingering near his section. Greg was in his late 40s, stocky with a buzz cut, while Linda, in her 30s, had a clipboard and a walkie-talkie. They seemed to be scanning the crowd, occasionally speaking into their radios. Jamal focused on the stage, where the principal was giving opening remarks, but he felt their eyes on him. He brushed it off, used occasional scrutiny as a black man in certain settings. About 20 minutes into the ceremony, during a speech by the valedictorian, Greg approached Jamal's row. "Sir, I need to see your ticket again," he said, his tone abrupt. Jamal frowned but pulled the ticket from his pocket and handed it over. Greg examined it, then shook his head. "This doesn't look right. You need to come with me." Tanya leaned over, confused. "What's the problem?" "He's family." Greg ignored her, motioning for Jamal to stand. "Let's not make a scene," he said. Jamal stayed calm, his Marine training keeping his emotions in check. "I showed you my ticket at the gate. It's valid. I'm here for my nephew." Linda joined Greg, checking her clipboard. "Your name's not on the guest list," she said. "You're not supposed to be here." Jamal's jaw tightened. He'd registered through the school's online system, as Tanya had instructed, and the ticket was emailed directly from the school. "Check your system again," he said. "My name's Jamal Harris. I'm Marcus's uncle." Greg smirked, handing the ticket back. "System's fine." "You're not. Let's go." By now, nearby families were watching, some whispering. Malik looked scared, clutching his mother's arm. Tanya stood up. "This is ridiculous. He's my brother. He has every right to be here." Linda stepped forward, her voice sharp. "Ma'am, sit down or you'll be removed too." Jamal held up a hand to calm Tanya. "I'll handle this," he said, standing. But as he stepped into the aisle, Greg grabbed his arm, pulling him toward the exit. That's when things changed. At the edge of the field, 6 men in casual attire, jeans, T-shirts, and sunglasses stood up from their seats. They were Navy SEALs, part Jamal's old unit, who'd come to support Marcus at Jamal's invitation. The group included Ryan, a 40-year-old team leader, Chris, a medic, Javier, a sniper, Derek, an explosives expert, Nate, a communications specialist, and Sean, the youngest at 35. They'd served with Jamal in Afghanistan, where he'd saved Ryan's life during a firefight in 2012. The bond between them was unbreakable, forged in combat and trust. Ryan, the leader, was the first to move. He'd noticed the guards hassling Jamal and signaled the others. As Greg pulled Jamal toward the exit, Ryan's voice cut through the air. "Let him go. Now!" The SEALs approached, their presence commanding attention. Ryan was 6 feet 2 inches, muscular, with a calm but intense demeanor. The crowd hushed, and even the principal paused mid-speech. Greg froze, still gripping Jamal's arm. "This is security business," he said, but his voice wavered. Ryan stepped closer, the other SEALs forming a loose semicircle. "You're manhandling a Marine veteran at his nephew's graduation," he said. "You checked his ticket. He's legit. Back off." Chris, the medic, added, "We're not asking." The SEALs didn't raise their voices, but their military training was evident in their stance and tone. Javier, the sniper, stared down Linda, who clutched her clipboard tighter. "Check the list again," he said, "properly this time." Linda fumbled with her walkie-talkie, calling her supervisor, a man named Tom, who was stationed at the gate. Tom arrived, a heavy-set man in his 50s, looking flustered. "What's going on here?" he asked. Ryan explained, his voice steady. "Your guards are trying to remove a decorated Marine for no reason. His ticket's valid. Do your job and verify it." Tom hesitated, then took the ticket and checked his tablet. After a moment, he looked up, embarrassed. "It's here. Harris, Jamal. He's cleared." Greg released Jamal's arm, stepping back. "My mistake," he muttered. Jamal adjusted his blazer, his face unreadable. "Mistake's one thing," he said. "Grabbing me's another." Ryan turned to Tom. "Your team needs to apologize, and you need better training." Tom nodded quickly. "I'm sorry, sir," he said to Jamal. "This shouldn't have happened." Linda and Greg echoed weak apologies, clearly intimidated by the SEAL's presence. The SEALs didn't let it go. Derek, the explosives expert, spoke up. "You profiled him. We've seen it before, and it stops here." The crowd was now fully focused on the exchange, some recording on their phones. Tanya stood, tears in her eyes but her voice strong. "My brother served his country. He deserves better than this." The SEALs nodded in agreement, and Sean, the youngest, added, "You're lucky he's calmer than we are." Jamal returned to his seat, the SEALs flanking him protectively. The ceremony resumed, but the energy had shifted. Families whispered about the confrontation, and Marcus, on stage, caught his uncle's eye and gave a proud nod. The SEALs stayed to the event, applauding loudly when Marcus crossed the stage to accept his diploma. Afterward, they joined the family for photos, their camaraderie easing the earlier tension. Word of the incident spread quickly. A pair in the crowd had recorded the confrontation and posted it on X, where it gained traction overnight. By Sunday, local news outlets in Norfolk were covering the story, with headlines like "Marine Veteran Nearly Ejected from Graduation, Saved by Navy SEALs." The video showed the guards' aggression and the SEALs' calm but firm intervention, sparking debates about bias and security practices. Jamal and the SEALs didn't seek the attention, but they agreed to a brief interview with a local reporter. "I just wanted to see my nephew graduate," Jamal said. "I've faced worse overseas, but this shouldn't happen at home." Ryan added, "We look out for our own. Jamal's family to us." The school issued a statement apologizing for the misunderstanding and promised to review its security protocols. Coastal Safety Solutions faced backlash, with several clients questioning their practices. Tom, the supervisor, personally called Jamal to apologize again, admitting the guards had acted on assumptions rather than evidence. The SEALs, who kept in touch with Jamal regularly, used the incident to advocate for better treatment of veterans. Ryan spoke at a local VFW meeting, emphasizing the need for respect regardless of race or background. "Jamal's a hero," he said. "No one gets to treat him like he's less." The group also started a mentorship program for young veterans, with Jamal volunteering to lead workshops on resilience. Tanya and Marcus were deeply affected. Marcus wrote his college application essay about the incident.